The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Welcome to the show. It's the last show of January, Lewis, and the last show before my birthday. Actually, the next show will be the David Pakman birthday show, and it'll likely be completely indistinguishable from any other program we've ever done, I would say.
In all likeliness, yeah.
Google's privacy policy is changing on March 1st, and a lot of people are emailing me concerned about this, asking us to cover this. NPR did a story about this. Are you up to date on this change, Lewis?
I haven't been following it too closely, but I'm aware of it.
Right. What's your understanding of it? I'm curious.
My understanding is they will basically just be able to harvest much more information on the users.
And they are being upfront that they will be providing a lot of that user activity to advertisers, which is really the concern of a lot of people. There's a couple of changes. I mean, one change is that 60 of its web services, almost all of them, are going to now fall under a unified privacy policy. And the big change is that it will allow the company to share data between any of those services. So, for example, your search activity will affect, realistically, the ads that pop up when you're browsing YouTube, as an example. Some people are concerned about the changes, saying that, hey, they don't want their information being given to advertisers or used in any kind of way like that. At the same time, some are saying, you know what, Google's actually being really upfront that they're doing this. They're telling us in advance. It's not just you log in one day and you're told, here's the new privacy policy. If you want to continue using this service, check the box and continue. And some people are saying, you know, you're actually going to be able to, cool stuff will happen as a result. I mean, one example would be, let's see, what is one example of them? Google would be able to provide reminders that you're late for a meeting based on your location, your calendar, and an understanding of what traffic is like that day. Does that appeal to you, Lewis?
That does not interest me in any way, shape, or form.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what's the concern? Well, the real concern is how much will the advertisers know about you, and you know the concern over ad targeting is what a lot of people seem to have trouble with. Interesting question is, can you opt out of this? And the answer is no. And many people concerned about this. At the same time, many people saying, you know what, the reality is, I'm assuming that they're tracking what I'm doing anyway, whether they're telling me that or not. I'm choosing to use a lot of these services, mostly services that cost nothing. It's fine. I don't care.
Right.
I mean, which side do you subscribe to?
Yeah, I'm totally fine with this, and I'm assuming that basically every company like Google is trying to achieve the same thing, right? I mean, this is the goal here, right?
What's the goal?
To gather more information, to make more money, to focus your advertising. I mean, that's what they're trying to do.
I mean, similar to Facebook, which does not charge for its services, the biggest value, what makes the company worth so much, I mean, with Google, both Google and Facebook do have pay-per-click and those ads, right, which that's one source of revenue. But a lot of it is also the being able to have this database of information about behavior, activity, and people's preferences, which is worth so much. It's really worth an incredible amount.
Right.
I mean, even if we think a small scale to our show, we have some idea based on YouTube analytics, website analytics, membership, subscription data. We have some sense of who listens to this show, who subscribes. It's not very invasive information at all, and it's incredibly valuable to us in thinking about what to do with the show, how to grow the show. If we were actively trying to get people's information and had the breadth of information that Google has, we could certainly make business decisions based on it. I mean, there's no question about it.
Right, and look at it from Google's point of view, to gigantic corporations who rely on advertising so heavily and who have millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars to spend on it.
Sure.
Well, this is the Holy Grail.
One other concern is that because so many people use Google services for both work and non-work related activities, that Google will not be able to discern, and that therefore some of the activity could be alarming when you look at it, or just vastly inaccurate when thinking about people's work versus people's personal lives. That seems like more of a downside for Google than anybody else.
Right, but no doubt one they've taken into consideration.
If you're concerned about this, email me, david@davidpakman.com, or through our website, davidpakman.com. If you're not concerned about it, tell me also. I mean, Lewis, how paranoid are you about your internet activity? Do you install on your computer like one of these programs that when you close your browser, it deletes your internet history? How are you paranoid as far as that goes?
No, not at all.
Right.
Nope.
I kind of am. I've been adding passwords and doing all sorts of kind of paranoid, schizophrenic paranoid behavior lately.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Now and then, I'll change passwords to certain things. I mean, that's recommended that everyone does that.
Sure.
I mean, that's pretty much the extent of it.
Yeah, I've even installed keyloggers on all of my computers just to find out if anyone's sneaking on and using them for strange stuff.
Really? You know, people can look at those keyloggers themselves.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not. I actually, honestly, my passwords haven't really changed for a while. They're pretty complex, but they really haven't changed for a while. Maybe I shouldn't even be admitting that, right? I mean, maybe that's a bad thing to mention.
I don't think it matters too much.
Right. My password is Lewis's Shoes 1118.